Welcome to the third tutorial in this series on using MultilingProfiler, and the second tutorial focused on frequency profiling. In this video, we'll explore how to browse the top 5,000 words lists that sit behind frequency profiles in French, German, and Spanish. I'll show you how to search and interpret these lists, explain the types of word forms they include, and demonstrate how all of this connects to the profiling results you see in the main tool. To get started, open the Top 5,000 Words tab. Here, you'll be asked to choose a language and a word counting unit. By default, MultilingProfiler uses a word counting unit called a flemma, which groups a head word together with its inflections, including across different parts of speech. As you browse the list, you'll see these inflections listed under the Forms column. Each form contributes to the overall frequency rank of the flemma, and this full set of forms is what MultilingProfiler includes by default when generating a frequency-based profile. The underlying assumption here is that if a learner can recognize a head word, they're likely to be able to recognize its inflected forms as well, for example, verb conjugations or plural endings. That might work well for advanced learners, but if you're working with beginners or early intermediate students, it might be a bit too much, and in tutorial 4, we'll show you how to reduce the range of forms that are included here. For now, you can explore how individual words are treated by using the search bar. You can search for full words or word stems, which is especially useful for spotting groups of related high-frequency words. For example, if you search for compre in Spanish, you see comprar, to buy, compra, shopping or groceries, and comprador, buyer. Quick note in Spanish, clitic forms like comprármelo are included in the MultilingProfiler output, but they aren't displayed in this view to keep the list easier to read. Now let's switch the word counting unit from Flemmas to word families. Now, as well as inflected forms, the forms list includes some derived forms, which are words built from the same root with common prefixes or suffixes. From compra, you'll now see comprita and compritas, a diminutive form meaning a small or a quick shop. From comprar, you'll now see comparable, buyable. You might notice that comprador, buyer, doesn't appear in this group, even though it's clearly a related word. That's because MultilingProfiler only includes derived forms that are high frequency, morphologically regular, and semantically transparent in its word families. Those criteria are based on research and on UK curriculum guidance around GCSE exams. The suffixes able and ito meet the criteria, but dor doesn't. Of course, what counts as appropriate here will depend on your learners and your goals, and you might want to be a bit more selective about which derived forms are included in your counting unit. In tutorial 5, we'll show you how to do that. So how does all this connect to the main profiling tool? On the right-hand side of the interface, you'll see two menus: the Remove Inflected Forms menu, which maps to the forms included in the Flemma version of the lists and has all its options selected by default, and the Add Derived Forms menu, which corresponds to the additional forms you see when you select the word family view. If you want to include derived forms in your analysis and switch your word counting unit from Flemmas to word families, just choose Select All in that second menu. So where do the lists of 5,000 frequent words actually come from? If you head to the FAQ tab, you'll find the source information there. The head word frequencies are taken from the Routledge frequency dictionaries for each language, and we added the inflected forms using TreeTagger to create the Flemmas. The derived forms were added manually, based on UK school exam policy on derivational morphology. To learn more about the research behind word counting units like Flemmas and word families, and when it makes sense to use different ones, we've linked some short, teacher-friendly summaries below, taken from the OASIS database. In the next tutorial, we'll explore how to adapt the default word counting unit and create your own custom Flemmas so that the profiles you create align more closely with your learners' knowledge of grammar.